What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you guys tuning in to today's Unhinged breakdown. And we're going to be going over Johnny Brito, Yankees rookie starting pitcher, who I have reason to believe was tipping his pitches against the Minnesota Twins. He went out against the Twins on April 13th, which was yesterday at the time of recording, and he got absolutely demolished, smoked. The Twins were all over everything he had to offer. And on top of that, after I went through and watched some of the video, they weren't just smoking balls when they swing, but they were having quality takes. And when you see a guy go out and have the stat line that Johnny Brito did against the Twins with 2/3 of an innings pitched, 6 hits, 7 earned runs, a homer, 2 or 3 doubles, and not a lot of swings and misses, to me, the first indication I would lean towards is that he's giving something away with how he's delivering the ball. He's tipping his pitches. And in the case of his start last night and what I was able to pull from previous outings he's had, I have reason to believe he is. And we're going to dive into that right now. But Brito against the Twins, tipping his pitches, I think this is what it is. And we're going to go ahead and run through it right now. So before we get into the game footage, all right, some of the numbers that back up what I thought or what I suspected was tipping his pitches. So he threw 34 pitches, okay? All in all, only recorded 2 outs. And he got 4 swings and misses. That's it. Swing and miss rate isn't super high for a lot of pitchers, and today's hitters are more talented than ever, but also today's pitchers are more talented than ever, and their stuff is nasty. So it's a little bit unusual to only have 4 swings and misses in that number of pitches, 34. 3 of the 4 swings and misses were on his changeup, and he has a very good one, and one of them was on a slurve, slider, curveball, his off-speed pitch. In that first inning, he threw 16 sinkers, fastballs or sinkers, his primary hard pitch that he throws. I think it's a sinker in the case of Johnny Brito. He threw 16 of them, and not one of them was just simply swung and missed. And he throws upper 90s with that pitch. So when you hear something like that, and you see that number come across of 16 thrown and not one of them was swung and missed, again, it indicates this guy's probably tipping his pitches. So let's take a look at the footage here. We have Brito on the mound against Edward Julian, rookie. Made his major league debut the day before. He is on the in the box leading off for the Minnesota Twins. And one thing to note, one thing to, of course, suspect is that Brito is throwing out of the windup. He has the windup, he has the stretch. It's like every other pitcher, but that's important to note and an important thing to remember in this game. So he opens the game up 97 miles an hour to Julian, who takes it up high. It says 4-seam fastball there, so I guess he's got a 4-seam and a sinker. But primarily, I think it's a sinker in this case. So he takes the first one. The next pitch is a changeup on 1-0, and Julian is way, way out in front. So he obviously wasn't suspecting that. On 1-0, he's probably sitting fastball, didn't get it, got a changeup. Brito gets the swing and miss. Next pitch, changeup down and away, and a pretty darn good pitch. And Julian never really budged at it. Now, this could be for a number of different reasons. Maybe the scouting report indicates, hey, he likes to go changeup 1-1. Who knows what the case is, but he took it with ease. He really didn't budge at it, even though that's a pretty darn well-located changeup right there. Okay, so then he gets the 2-1. It looks like he wants to go up and away with the fastball. Instead, it leaks inside, and Julian is all over this pitch. He smokes it to right field. Okay, and that's a double. But again, the scouting report just simply could indicate, hey, you know what? This guy throws changeups on 1-1. He throws fastballs on 2-1, or he throws fastballs after changeups, whatever the case is. And I don't think there was much there with his windup specifically. But what I did pick up on was what Brito does in the stretch, aka when a runner gets on base. So Julian just hit a leadoff single. He's on first base, and that'll bring up Carlos Correa. Okay, so Correa in the box against Brito. And I want you to notice something, and it's the first thing I picked up between the 2 different types of pitches, or 3 different types of pitches that Brito has been throwing. So first pitch to Correa here. 0-0 count. Brito comes set. I'm going to play this in real time, and then I'm going to play it back again. He comes set, takes a long look into the catcher, delivers, sinker, 97 miles an hour. Let's watch that one more time. Brito comes set, long look, sinker, strike 1. All right, next pitch to Correa. 0-1, just through a sinker, comes set, long look into the catcher, sinker, again over the plate. Now he's got a 0-2. Correa took both of those pitches, and my guess would be it's because he's sort of calibrating what I noticed in the previous game footage, and he's verifying it because he noticed he comes set, long look, goes to the sinker. Now he comes set again, Long, longer look, not the longest look I've ever seen, but long enough look where he finishes high with the fastball. Correa takes it. Either way, it's a pitch that's a pretty easy take on a high fastball. He comes set again, shorter look, change up in again. So what I've picked up on is that the longer he looks to home plate, you can almost guarantee it's going to be a fastball. You can almost guarantee it. If he looks long back to home plate, same thing, 1 and 2. He comes set, looks home. Pretty long look. I would guess fastball in that situation, and that's what it is. Correa pulls it foul. Same thing, 1 and 2. Correa is still working here. Brito comes set. Shorter look, change up, and he's all over it. It's an infield hit. All right, so now it's first and second. Buxton at the plate. He comes set. Short look, if anything, at all to the catcher. You'll notice he barely picks up the catcher after he looks at the runner at second base. Barely picks him up, if at all, spins a slider, off-speed pitch. Now, one thing that's really important to note in this situation is that hitters love to feel the guy out. And I think you'll see that, especially in that situation with Correa and a situation where a guy's potentially tipping his pitches. They take some pitches. Sometimes there's some borderline ones. And you'll see in the case of this video, there's some where you're like, oh, that looks like it's about to be a fastball, and it's not, and it's a changeup. But for the most part, these hitters on the Twins seem like they almost knew it was coming, okay? So you have the 1-0 pitch here to Buxton. Brito with the long hold, looks at second, back home, back to second, and with the quick look back to home plate, I would guess off speed, but he actually goes fastball. And he misses up with it, which is an important thing to note. It seems like Brito wants to get locked onto a target when he's trying to execute a sinker / fastball. Okay. And when he doesn't, and he just goes quick look to home plate and delivers the fastball, he misses pretty badly with it. So now we're 2-0 on Buxton. Okay. Quick look again, another fastball. He didn't get a lot of time to pick up his target, and he misses up again. So I think in Brito's head, subconsciously, he's realized I need to pick up my target on the fastball. And that footage from previous games and what the Twins have picked up on and what I showed with Correa is verifying exactly what's going on with Brito and his pitch tipping situation. Now he's 3-0 on Buxton, okay? He's got anything he can throw. Buxton's probably going to be taking all the way. It's 3-0. This guy's allowed 2 base runners already. Brito goes long hold as he's set here. Looks in, delivers a regular 3-0 fastball. Buxton decides to swing at it, which I thought was pretty interesting. Okay. Now you're 3-1. He could go fastball. He could go changeup. This brief look at home plate indicates to me this is going to be a changeup, as he barely picked up the catcher at all. Barely. And it's a changeup. Buxton was kind of selling fastball, but was able to lay off a 3-1 changeup. Now, this at bat to Larnach kind of verifies exactly what I was thinking. Okay. He's no outs, bases loaded, Larnach at the plate, quick look in, breaking ball for a ball. Again, same exact thing as what we've been talking about. Quick look in, he barely looks at the catcher. Barely, if at all. Okay? He's got runners on third, so that's the runner he's primarily focused on. Looks at third, briefly look in, slider, ball 1. Now it's 1-0. What do you think he throws Larnach here? He's probably sitting fastball. Long look in, and he executes a pretty well-located changeup. Larnach takes the hack, gives him the nod, and goes, that's a pretty darn good pitch. I was sitting on the fastball. I saw you looking in long time, and honestly, I was expecting a heater. You threw a really, really well-located changeup. Now we're 1-1. Brito with a very quick look into home plate, changeup, and Larnach is all over it and yanks it foul. Now we're 1-2. Brito comes set. Long look in. Fastball, and he lays off of it. That difference right there between the last pitch, the changeup, and the fastball. A lot of people would say there's not much difference there. But in a baseball hitter's head, and especially the way these guys pick up tipping and counts and timing and everything else, that is night and day difference. Okay? Again, we'll go back here. You tell me the difference between this pitch as far as hold goes for Brito and the pickup of the target, and then on the fastball. He comes set. He looked at home plate for a fraction of a second before he delivers the changeup. Now it's the next pitch. He comes set again, making sure the runner's okay at third base. That's a much longer look to home plate than the previous pitch, and it is a fastball. Now it's 2-2. He's thrown fastballs, he's thrown changeups, he's thrown sliders. Anything could come right here. But Brito, looking the runner back at third base, not a long look at all. Brief, momentary pause, changeup over the plate, and again, Larnach's all over it, hits a sacrifice fly. Now it's first and third, one out, sacrifice fly, one run in, but not the end of the world. Brito's a ground ball away from getting out of this inning with one run. Okay? Jose Miranda comes up to the plate. Oh, guy's hitting 191 on the year. Now he's a good hitter, but he's hitting 191. So hasn't had a lot of success, let's just say, in 2023. Brito comes set. There's also still a runner on third base because he tagged from second to third. Looks home. Long look home. Hammers a fastball. Miranda is all over that pitch. Now, it's not a well-located pitch. Don't get me wrong. And maybe he's just sitting first pitch fastball. But that look to home plate, to me, indicates a fastball. If I'm looking at it, that's a long look. He picks up his target, goes fastball. Miranda does not miss that pitch. Smokes it in the gap. All right? Next batter, Donovan Solano. Relatively solid hitter, good contact guy. Runner on second after the Miranda double. 2 runs have scored. It's now 3-0 off the double. And Solano at the plate. He barely picks up the catcher on the first pitch to Solano, if at all. Barely picks him up. Throws a first pitch breaking ball. All right. Next pitch. Brito likes it. Runner on second again. It's now 0-1. Looks to second. Barely picks up the catcher. Another breaking ball. This at bat to me is as obvious as day. The only one that's a little bit iffy is this pitch right here. And you'll see exactly what I mean. Brito comes set, second base, back home, picks up the target. This one I think could be 50-50. Solano knows that in his head. So he gets a fastball over the plate, and he's late on it. But I think he was in his head saying that could be 50-50. Now, if he would have gone straight quick to the plate, like those other previous first 2 pitches of the at-bat, he probably would have known it was a breaking ball of some kind. Fastball, guess what? He's a little tardy on it, but he's still all over it. Now here's Nick Gordon at the plate after another double from Solano. Here's Brito, and you can see straight up right there with the runner on second. He's set right here. You don't get that camera angle from center field, but he looks home, does not pick up the catcher at all, spins a breaking ball for a strike, and he swings and misses at it. Runner on second. Here's Brito. Back home, long look, picks up his target, and it's a fastball. That's something that I would have picked up on as a hitter. Okay? I think these guys knew that coming into the start. And I'll give you one more example at the end of this video that's not in this game. But here is the runner on third after the ground out from Nick Gordon. Christian Vasquez at the plate. Brito comes set. Long pause. Looks in. Picks up his catcher. And you guys have to understand the difference in these few pitches. It's so minuscule. It's so momentary. It's really not much, if anything at all. Okay? But I think the 2 to Nick Gordon are the perfect example of what these guys are picking up on and what they're seeing from Brito and how he's tipping his pitches. So Brito right there, you saw first pitch to Nick Gordon. He does not pick up the catcher at all when he delivers this ball. Okay, comes set, look at the runner on second. As his head turns towards the catcher, his leg is coming up. What that indicates to me, off-speed pitch. Next pitch to Gordon, like we just showed, he picks up the target. Now he's looking at home plate. He knows where he wants to throw it. And let me run that back in real time. He picks up the target, and it's very, very, very minuscule. But this is something MLB hitters pick up on. He turns. There's a brief pause there. Gordon's kind of late on the fastball. He's able to get it turned around a little bit, but it's a ground out. Here's Christian Vasquez. We've shown this first pitch already. Brito comes set, picks up the target, delivers a fastball. Now it's 1-0. He missed with the first pitch. Brito checks the runner on third, looks home. That is a very short pause and delivers a changeup inside. Now, it's 2-0, and I understand Vasquez is probably sitting fastball no matter what because he knows Brito wants to throw a strike. Brito looks in, long pause, picks up his fastball. Vasquez is all over it. Now, I know it's 2-0. I know it's a fastball count. I understand that. But he did not miss that pitch. He did not miss that pitch at all. Like, he was ready for 97. It's also not a great pitch. It's a fastball over the plate. I get it. Here's Michael A. Taylor, the last batter that Brito ends up facing after another double. Another double. Here's your first pitch. If I see that first one and that long look to home plate, my guess is going to be this is a fastball. Let's take a look. Long look, breaking ball. And Taylor goes, "Oh wow, okay, I guess I don't know what's coming." Then he comes set again on 0-1, looks second, does not look home at all, changeup. When I see that as a batter and I see that he just delivers as his head turns, his leg comes up, I can immediately eliminate fastball in my head. I know a fastball is not coming. And sure enough, there's the changeup. Now it's 0-2. Let's see what he does again to Michael A. Taylor. Head turns as soon as his leg comes up. Guess what the pitch is? It's a changeup, 89 miles an hour. He's got him 0-2. And you wouldn't be able to tell this at bat because you're like, 0-2, he's been late on a couple of pitches. He took a first pitch strike. He wants the fastball. Pick up the target. The difference in those is so subtle, but you can clearly tell his head is turned before he lifts his front leg, and it's a fastball. Michael A. Taylor all over it, smashes it to dead center, and that's it for Brito, a 2-run homer. Now, this at-bat, in my opinion, as I went back and tried to verify, is Brito tipping or were the Twins just ready to go? Was he having a bad day, throwing pitches over the plate? And the answer is, of course, yes, he was having a bad day. He was throwing balls right down the middle. It was not a good day for Brito. But when the hitters at least have a good idea of what's coming, it's a much tougher time for you as a pitcher, especially when you're throwing balls over the plate. Here's an at-bat in Brito's first start this season against the Giants. This is the top of the first. This is the first inning he has worked, I believe, in the major leagues, but at least this season against the Giants back in April 4th, I think. He's got Jock Peterson with the runner on first. So here he is in that same stretch type situation. And I want to just watch these. I went back and watched these pitches and was able to tell you, or at least guess in my head, what pitches were coming every single pitch of this at-bat. Every single pitch. Here he is coming set to Jock Peterson. It's a pretty long look to home plate, but he delivers a changeup. That one I think could have gone 50-50. I guessed changeup, and I got it right the first time I was watching. Here he is coming set again. Long look to the catcher. That's a fastball. 1-1. Here he is coming set. Once again on 1-1. Does not pick up the catcher at all. Soon as I saw this, right, simultaneous pickup and leg pickup at the same time. Head turn, leg pickup. I could tell you from a mile away that that's a changeup. And there's the changeup. 1-2. Here's Brito. Come set. Head turn and leg lift at the same time. Guess what? Changeup. Every single time. Now he's 1-2 on Jock Peterson. Come set. Long pickup of the catcher. Picks up his target. Fastball. Here's Brito again. 2-2. Come set. Head turn, leg lift at the same time, changeup. If you're telling me the Twins, as professional hitters with veteran guys on that roster, guys like Correa, who, I mean, let's be honest, has had a bit of a dicey career as far as integrity goes, right? That's all I'll get into. He's also a professional hitter. He's been around the league. He's been around guys that pick up on things like this. And in the case of Brito, a rookie who has, in my opinion, a relatively obvious tell on when he's going to throw at least one specific pitch, potentially the other two as well. If you told me that the Twins knew this was a tendency of his and they were picking up on that in that first inning, which is why they were covering balls all over the yard, if you said they knew this stuff, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I wouldn't be surprised at all because those last 3 pitches to Jock Peterson are as obvious as they come. Let's take a look one more time. The 0-1 pitch, long look to the catcher. These are all in real time. To Jock Peterson. All right, he's got 0-1, and that first pitch was a little bit dicey, right? It could have been a changeup. It could have been a fastball. In this situation, Brito's got him 0-1, and I'm going to watch all these pitches in real time. Long set, long look into the catcher, fastball. Next pitch, he comes set, does not pick up the catcher, immediate leg lift, changeup. Next pitch, does not pick up the catcher, immediate leg lift, changeup. 1-2, come set, long pickup of the catcher, fastball. Brito comes set, next pitch to Peterson, doesn't pick him up, immediate leg lift, changeup down, and he gets the ground out. Okay, so to me, the Twins, I believe, had some indication that this was his tendency as a pitcher because the swings they took on fastballs, I mentioned he threw 16 sinkers at 96 plus, and he did not get a single swing and miss on any of his sinkers. And the only pitches he got swings and misses on were changeups, and also changeups to guys early on in the inning. Okay. The rest of the guys just did not swing and miss. They were all over everything he had to throw. And a lot of them were taking a lot of pitches early on because I think they wanted to verify exactly what was going on. To me, the two at-bats that stand out the most are this one to Correa and then the at-bat to Donovan Solano, because you can tell right away what these pitches are going to be pretty much as soon as he goes through his full delivery. Okay. This first one to Correa, he comes set, really long look to home plate, and it's a fastball. And we're going to watch these in real time. 0-1 pitch. He comes set. Long look to home plate. Guess what the pitch is? It's a fastball. I think Correa knew that. Or at least had an indication, because otherwise he probably wouldn't take immediately 0-2 on two fastballs. Maybe he just wants to feel them out. But I think the feeling out process from Correa was more about trying to verify what Brito's tendencies are in his pitch tipping than it was to just feel him out as a hitter and pitcher battle. I think he wanted to verify the fact that his long looks home indicate fastballs and his turns and leg lifts immediately indicate off speed, specifically changeup. I think the things you guys have to remember and understand is that while what I picked up doesn't seem to be very noticeable, if noticeable at all, to the naked eye or to the casual fan or to people just watching the game, and a lot of times when these guys pick up what a guy's tipping, it's so fractionally small in what it is that it's almost impossible to tell. And in a case like what I'm doing right now, it makes me feel like, am I going crazy? Am I like making this up? But I think the distinct differences in the amount of time held, the way Brito's picking up the catcher, the way he's delivering the ball, I think all of that is enough for these hitters to notice it, recognize it when they go over the film. And like I said, Correa watched that first at bat that I showed you guys with Jock Peterson, and there's no way he didn't pick up on that, because that's the first thing I noticed. These guys are professional hitters, and the super minute differences in what a pitcher does when he delivers specific pitches, these guys will pick up on it almost instantaneously. And then when they pick up on it, they will tell the rest of the clubhouse, the rest of the lineup, and then these guys will be ready to hit. And I think that is the main explanation as to how Brito wasn't able to get out of the first inning. He got touched up against the Twins. And I think he was tipping his pitches at least in a fractional amount enough for these guys to just jump all over him. To me, the Larnach at-bat and the Jose Miranda at-bat that immediately followed show exactly what I was talking about and verifies it and how I'll end this video. This one, he comes set against Larnach with the bases loaded, barely picks up the catcher, if at all, fires a changeup. Larnach's out in front, but he's all over it. Then on 1 and 2, Brito comes set, picks up the target for a lot longer, and delivers a fastball. And it's an easy take for Larnach. And then I talked about the 2-2 changeup that he throws him. He barely picked up the catcher at all. And again, Larnach is all over it. And then with Miranda here, the next batter, the first pitch, he comes set, turns and picks up the catcher for quite a while, and then delivers a fastball. And yeah, you know what? Again, it's not a great pitch, but Miranda was all over it. All over it. Like, did not miss it at all. Again, with Solano here, he turns, does not pick up the catcher at all, breaking ball. Solano knows this. You can tell just by the way he's taking, he knows that these pitches are coming. Brito turns again, does not pick up the catcher at all, and it's another breaking ball. Now, the last thing I'll say is I want you to listen to what Paul O'Neill in the Yankees booth says about Brito. And this is during the Michael Taylor at-bat when he's already given up 5 runs.
And the pitch. Popped up.
Yeah, Brito really having trouble with his sinkers. Twins 3 for 3 with 3 doubles off the sinker this inning.
Guess what he throws?
Pitch number 34.
A sinker.
High drive into center field and deep.
Taylor was all over that pitch. Okay. And I think these guys were all over him because they knew what pitches were coming. So that's my perspective on it. And I think Brito, is a great pitcher. He's got great stuff. I just think the Twins were prepared. The Twins had done their film study. The Twins saw his tendencies and how he picks up the catcher for even an extended fractional amount of time, it seems like it more than likely it's going to be a fastball. And when he doesn't pick up the catcher with guys on base and just goes head turn leg lift at the same time, it's going to be off speed. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree, if you guys were able to pick up on this, if you guys think I'm crazy. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say because I think he was tipping his pitches. I think at the end of the day, the Twins were prepared. And you know what? He wasn't executing. He wasn't throwing a lot of sinkers in good parts of the zone. But also, I feel like he was trying to go up with a lot of his pitches too. And the Twins were just ready for it. On 0-2, I mean, to Michael A. Taylor, he throws a high fastball at 97 miles an hour and he's just all over it. That's very suspicious. And not in the way of the Twins cheating. I mean, it's just in the way of Taylor knew it was coming. He knew it was coming, or at least had an educated enough guess to get to the spot and hits it out of the ballpark. So hopefully Brito can get the stuff figured out because his stuff is very good. And the Yankees definitely need him. But ultimately, I think he was tipping his pitches, or at least tipping them enough to give the Twins a good indication of, hey, I think we might know what's coming. And the whole lineup 1 through 9 had a pretty good indication. That's why they all had a ton of success off of Brito. Then only scored 2 runs the rest of the game. I'm just saying. All right. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to slap a like on it if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you guys want to see more content like this, more unhinged breakdowns. And otherwise, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.